frustration and stress mostly comes from being underprepared and not ready for what's coming at you. And I think the better organized you are, the faster you're going to move through your organization as a leader.
BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
Save, borrow, and invest with Farmers. Take heart knowing you're helping create a strong community. Mind your money at Farmers. Talk directly to local decision makers about your loans, investments, and insurance. Farmers. Fiercely local, fiercely loyal.
Let's turn it to the audience to see if anybody out there has any questions, anything that we haven't covered, or any concerns that you have or challenges that you've experienced. Sir?
Question, regarding your personal and professional development, what has that journey been like for you? What are some things that you went through to help with that process?
I'm still on mine, so I'm still looking for the best version of myself, and I mean that sincerely. But I would say the one consistent thing throughout my life is being highly organized. And I've been a disciple of the Franklin Covey planner system. It's something that I teach to everyone that comes into our organization, any one of our managers of our restaurants or our golf courses or whatever. I don't say they have to be, but there's a lot of free education out there on YouTube, and there's a lot of value that transcends every organization that you can get from being highly organized. And I think the young people that stand out to me are great multitaskers, and the reason the Franklin Covey system works so well is that, in the digital age, it's easy for files to get lost. I know the most frustrating thing for me is to have files and I spend more time organizing my files than I think creating them in the first place. But I know where everything is in my planner. It's sitting right over there. I always know where it is. It's like my wallet. That to me has been the biggest thing in professional development is being highly organized, spending a good chunk of my early morning planning for the day, understanding where I need to be, when I need to be there, how long it's going to take. Being very good at moving on from one thing to the next, so that if I know I have a call with George over there at 3 o'clock, I know I got to get moving at 2:30 so that my mind is set. And if that's the one tip I could give the multi-generational people throughout the organization, frustration and stress mostly comes from being underprepared and not ready for what's coming at you. And I think the better organized you are, the faster you're going to move through your organization as a leader. Best leaders in the world are highly organized, they're on time, they're on point, they speak in sound bites, they know what they're doing, and that's the biggest thing I can tell you from a professional.
Great, and we're all doing more with less time, less people, so that's a great point.
I would say continuous learning, right? Read a lot. I read a lot. I start my morning every day with the Business Journal. Kid you not, I do. But staying up on all of the industry trends, staying up on the news. But then I read a lot of books on topics that just interest me. And I think that helps. It gives you perspectives, it gives you curiosity, it gives you ideas to try to implement or something. So I think always knowing that your educational journey is not done, whether it's like through textbooks or whether it's learning skills. Always stay on top of learning every day.
Any other final?
I agree that learning and organization are very important, but also, as we've, I think, talked about throughout this entire event, just community. Showing up for your community, even in the smallest ways, is so important. And you show up for them, they show up for you. You don't want to create enemies, but you want to create that partnership and that friendship. You have a business and you're next to another business, say hello to them. You have other leaders that, like 717, there's so many branches. That's my bank. I love it there. They're awesome. But take time to meet other branch managers and just connect with each other, because you'll never know when you meet someone, and people love favors. And if they can count on you, which is what a leader is, right? Accountability, support, transparency, all the things that we've heard throughout the day, that really helps. And that's what I've had. I don't think I could be where I'm at. My first job in politics came from being involved volunteering from my from my local party. And they're like, you know, she's always there. She shows up. She's eager. She's ambitious. She doesn't always have the time. I have a child. But when she can, she does show up, and that means something. So.
I mean, all of those things. I am completely unorganized most of the time, so don't count that out. You know, they do say smart people are usually the crazy kind, right? At least I like to, when those studies pop up on social media, I'm like, yeah, that's me. That's me. It makes me feel good. But I'll say my name tag does not say executive director. It reads curiosity champion. So talking about what Dr. Pintar and Jim Tressel had to say, obviously curiosity is at the core of what WOW does for our mission, but it's something I believe in my personal life too. Reading, I read the Harvard Business Review. If you don't want to get an MBA, just subscribe to it and read every article. It'll do you wonders, and for some reason I'm a nerd and think it's interesting, but I do believe you are what you consume. Today's world is easily disruptive. You know, I think, and that's probably the one thing I'll say that our age demographics and older struggle with probably the most when we're talking about some of our younger employees, and they live in sound bites and they live in 10-second videos and all of those kinds of things. But I do think that you are what you consume. So if you're watching Desperate Housewives, I mean, kudos to you. Everybody needs a reset here and there, but you know, just take those things into consideration in terms of, you know, it's not only the food that we consume, but it's the content that we consume as well. That'll make us what we are down the road and in the future. But other than that, take time for yourself. I mean, honestly, nature, it does wonders. Take your phone, throw it somewhere, hide it in your room, put it in a closet. I'm a mom of a 2.5-year-old, and you know, there's days that you forget to pull yourself away, but get yourself a kayak, whatever it might be. But then also, just teaching yourself something new doesn't necessarily mean learning something new. So I wrote a really good article about memory loss. Yeah, it happens quickly, guys. It really does. But you know, keeping your brain active. So I play the piano. So it's not that I need to learn how to play guitar or trumpet or something. I just need to teach myself a new song on the piano. So if you already have a skill, figure out how you elevate that skill that you already have, and that'll do wonders for your brain as well.
BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
Save, borrow, and invest with Farmers. Take heart knowing you're helping create a strong community. Mind your money at Farmers. Talk directly to local decision makers about your loans, investments, and insurance. Farmers. Fiercely local, fiercely loyal.